Hello guys, so today we'll be doing tutorial question 1 for WACC weighted average cost of capital. So as you know guys, we already done the chapter 10, 11, 12 and 13. So let's do some tutorial question now. Now this is something similar with your past equation. So let's go through the question now, how the questions look like. Let's look at what is the story here. Now look at that. The statement of financial position of BKB Co. provides the following information. So all that values were in million. Equity finance is given. Look at the equity finance. Ordinary shares, $1 nominal value, which is your par value. Okay, so this is your par value. Don't forget. And if, as you guys know, that when we calculate WACC, we only will be including ordinary shares, debt, and preference shares. Okay, ordinary shares, debt, preference shares. There's only three items that we'll be including in the calculation of WACC. You must understand that. Okay, so when you see reserve, we are not going to include these in the calculation of WACC. Definitely. Okay, we only include reserve in the calculation of gearing. Yes, but if you look at the required uh, for the question, we are not going to calculate gearing. We're only going to calculate weighted average cost of capital. Okay, and let's look at the next part. Next information: non-current liabilities, which is your can I say this, debt? Okay, that's your debt. We have 7% convertible bonds, $100 nominal value, which is your par value as well. Don't forget. And then we have preference share, uh, $1 par value. Now, in this question, the 100 is given, but as you know, I always told you in the class that most of your past equation they won't tell you that what is the par value for uh, debt, okay, for the bonds, loan stocks or whatever. They won't tell you, but you have to know that it always will be 100. It can be $100, it can be £100, it can be 100 ringgit or whatever. Okay, but it will be 100. Next will be current liabilities. We have trade payables, overdraft. Now this is we're not gonna use trade payables, okay, and we are not gonna use the overdraft as well. Okay, now next we have the nodes over there. Look at that. BKB Co has an equity beta of 1.2, and the ex dividend market value of the company equity is $125 million. The ex interest market value of the convertible bond is 21 million, and the ex dividend market value of the preference share is 6.25 million. Guys, you have to be very careful over here. Now, what they have given here is your market value. Be careful, look at that. Market value. It is not market price. Okay, market price is not given. Market value is given. If you look at the previous questions that we did, all the questions on your past equations, market price will be given. We will be calculating the market value. But in this question is something different. Market value is given, so therefore we have to calculate the market price. So market price is the question mark. So we have to calculate that later on. Definitely, we need the market price. Okay, so we have to do some reverse calculation there. So look at the second note now. The convertible bond of BKB Co have a conversion ratio of 19 ordinary shares per bond. The conversion date and redemption date are both on the same date in 5 years. Look at that. Look at that. Conversion date and redemption date. That means your redemption value and the conversion value on the same date in what? 5 years time. So we're gonna calculate for 5 years for the convertible bonds. And remember, convertible bonds, we're gonna redeem. That means it's a redeemable. Okay, redeemable. And then the current ordinary share price of BKP Co is expected to increase uh, by 4% per year for the foreseeable future. The overdraft has a variable interest rate which is currently 6% per year, and BKB Co expect this to increase in the near future. The overdraft has not changed in the size of the last financial year, although 1 year ago the overdraft interest rate was 4% per year. The company bank will not allow the overdraft to increase from its current level. Now, this is going to be our assumption, guys, later on. We're not going to include uh, overdraft in the WACC calculation, definitely. Okay, and don't forget highlight this part as well, increase by 4%, so later we have to calculate that as well. Okay, and look at that, the equity risk premium is 5%, risk free rate 4%, and of course your tax rate is 30%. Now be careful. Now most of the time students will make mistake on this part, which is the risk premium. Now risk premium is not the return on the market. Yeah, so later in the calculation I'll explain this part. A risk premium is basically not RM. Yeah, it is not RM, it's basically RM minus the RF. That will give you the risk premium. So you have to be very careful. It's not an RM. It's basically RM minus RF is the risk premium is 5%. So the 5% is your RM minus RF is given. So they basically giving the risk-free rate information and risk premium 5%, which is they already gave you after minus. Okay, it's not RM. So normally students will make mistakes. They think the risk premium is 5%. It's not. Uh, 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 what we call that, return on the market is not 5%. Okay, so this is risk premium, it's not return on the market, so you have to be very careful on that. Now if you look at these, the required, we need market value after tax. Definitely we always do that. We calculate WACC based on market value, and always is a post tax, definitely. And later we have to uh, explain assumption, so which is this assumption, we need to explain it later, why we're not going to include the overdraft and so on. So let's start our working here now. So we're going to start with the cost of equity, which is our KE. RF plus RM minus RF times with beta equity. Now what happens here is, I'm gonna do it here now. Now this part is your risk premium. That's your risk premium, which is RM minus your RF. So you have to be very careful. So it's basically, this is your 4%. Your risk-free rate is 4%. Now minus. Now if you want, if our risk premium is 5%, am I right? So that if you want to get the RM, is basically a reverse calculation where 5% plus 4%, you will get 9%. So it's going to be over here is 4% plus 9% minus 4%, which will give you the 5% over here, and times with the beta equity 1.2, that will give you 10%. Check. Next, cost of debt. So it's going to be cost of debt. So cost, remember this is uh, redeemable. Okay, redeemable. So we need to use our IRR as our KD formula. Remember, we need to calculate IRR here. So we have to do a few workings here. Okay, before we calculate our KD, working number one, we need to calculate our market price. Market price for convertible bond. Now, like what I told you in the earlier, when we go through the question, market value is given, but market price is not there. So that's a question mark here. If you look at it, what normally how we calculate market value, it's going to be the same formula. We're going to reverse the formula here. The formula is going to be book value times, sorry, book value equals to market value times 100 over price. Now it's going to be book value. If you look at it, all this is your book value, remember. All that is your book value. So market value is over here. All this is the market value is given. Okay, I already highlight for you market value. Market value is given. So what we're going to do here is book value for convertible bond is going to be 20 million, equivalent to market value is going to be convertible bond, look at there, 21 million. Sorry, I used to do it in pounds, but this question is in dollar. Okay, put it in dollar. 21 million dollar. Okay, times with 100. We're gonna find the price here. So how much gonna be the price? So the price is your market price. Is basically that. How much your price? Your market price. So that will give you 105. So that is your market price for convertible bond. Number two, working number two, we're gonna find ordinary share price market price, in other words. So normally how we calculate the market value is going to be the same formula. We're going to convert that, we're going to reverse the formula to find the market price, which is we always used to take book value divided with par value. We will get number of ordinary shares, and then we take number of ordinary shares times with market price. We will get market value. That's how we get the market value. So we're going to reverse this formula from market value divided with number of ordinary shares to get the market price. So it's going to be, first we're going to calculate the number of ordinary shares. Uh, the book value for ordinary shares is 25. This is your par value. So it's going to be 25 million divided with the par value of 1. We get 25 million shares. And then we're going to find the market price. So we're going to reverse the formula. When we reverse the formula, it's going to be a divide. So we're going to take the market value of the equity. Look at here, 125 million. 125 million divided with 25 million shares. That will give you the market price. So we will get $5. So that will be the market price for ordinary shares. Number three. Number three, if you look at the, let's go back to the note. I just want to recall back here, small thing here. Now, if you look at number three, note number two, look at that. They have told here the convertible bond have a conversion ratio of 19 ordinary shares per bond. The conversion date and redemption date at the both at the same time, same date in 5 years time. So we need to calculate what is our conversion value and what is our redemption value. So the both value is going to be the same value. Okay, so it's basically conversion and redemption both together. So I'm going to put it here as the first of all, before we're going to convert, if you look at it here, we also have the current ordinary share price expected to increase by 4% per year for the foreseeable future. So that means it's going to be for 5 years. So how much the share price after 5 years or in 5 years time? So let's calculate that. Share price in 5 years time. So that's going to be $5. We know that our share price is $5 times with 1 plus 4% power of 5 years, because it's going to be 5 years. So it's going to be how much? So we got 6.08. So that's going to be our share price in 5 years time after increase by 4% in 5 years. Number 4. Okay, number 4, we're going to calculate the conversion value. Now conversion value is going to be 6.08. We take the share price after 5 years times with 19 shares. Now they already told you in the note, if you look at it, 19 ordinary shares over here, and of course you times with the share price. Now normally what the students do is they will forget this part. They will forget this part. This part they will forget to do, and they will straight take $5 times with 19 shares. That will be a wrong answer. So don't do that in the exam. Always take if the question gave you there is an increase in the share price by 4% or whatever percent, please times with the share price and how much in next 5 years or whatever years it's given in the question. So that will give you 115.52. Check. So that's the conversion value. In other words, conversion value and redemption value. This is also your redemption value. Both happen on the same date. Redemption value and number 5. Okay, so as basically we are done almost the workings or the information we need for the our calculation of a cost of debt. Okay, so to calculate the KD, we need an interest definitely. So 7 times with 100. Don't forget, always the par value is going to be 100. So we get $7, and our post-tax interest is going to be $7 times with 1 minus 30%. It's going to be 4.9. Check. So now once you calculate that, we're going to calculate our KD, I 1 minus tax, PO 1 minus F. So there's no issue cost in this question, so we don't need to worry about the issue cost 1 minus F. And let's work out the KD now here. 4.9. Our market price, PO is our market price 105. We have calculated earlier just now 105. 4.9 over 105 times 100, you get 4.67. But remember, this is not the final KD answer. This is redeemable, so we need to calculate IRR. So this why I'm calculating this, if you still remember, we will find the best discount factor to start our NPV to find the IRR, basically the KD at the end of the day. Now, next will be annualized profit. We take the redemption value or the conversion value, which is 115.52 minus your market price 105. That will give you 10.52. Now remember, this is for 5 years. Okay, we are doing it for 5 years. Annualized profit is basically for 1 year, and we divide with 5 years. How much you get? That will give you 2.104. Okay, and divided with, sorry, obviously the pounds comes in. It's to do with the pounds. Now, divided with 100, the par value times with 100, that will give you 2.104%. So the best discount factor will be 4.67% plus 2.104%. That will give us 6.77%, and we round it up to 7%. So that will be the best discount factor to start our NPV basically. So it's going to be year net cash flow discount factor 7%, present value, discount factor, present value. As you know, IRR, we need a positive and negative. And if you still remember, once we get the best discount factor, if you get a positive, you increase by 1%. If you get a negative for the first round, you reduce it by 1%. It's just that plus and minus by 1%, so it's going to be easy. So 0, we're going to do it for 5 years. 5, because the convertible bond is for 5 years. Market price is 105, 4.9 interest. Redemption value is 115.52, or conversion value is 115.52. 105. Okay, so if you still remember, let me recall back how to do the annuity factor over here. You have to use the annuity factor, which is the 1 minus 1 plus r. We still remember 1 minus 1 plus r, power of negative n, or t, or r. So 1 minus 1 plus 7%, power of negative 5 over 7%. That will give you 4.1. Circumstance. I'll show you one the next. You guys do it by yourself later on when you want to try this question. Okay, so the next part is going to be at the year 5. This one you have to use the normal discount factor formula, 1 over 1 plus r power of the n, the year. So therefore 1 plus 7%, power of 5 years. So that will give you 0.713. So 20.09. 82.37. Now that will give you now that will give you 2.54 negative value. So if you get a negative, you have to reduce by 1%. That will give you 6%. Just reduce by 1. We need a positive answer now. 105. So you repeat the same steps how we did here. Use the annuity factor for 6% now. Then you calculate discount factor for the year 5. How much? That will give you over here. It's 4.212, 0.747. Check it out. And then it will give you 20.64, 86. 86.29. Yeah. Now that should give you a positive answer, which is 1.93. Let's look at the IRR now. Which is your KD, call that E, NPVE, NPVE minus NPVP times P minus A. Okay. 6% plus NPVA is going to be the positive NPV, don't forget. 1.93 plus 2.54, negative, negative, positive, times 7% minus 6%. That will give you 6.43%. So that will be our cost of debt. It's quite a long working for the cost of debt because we have some adjustments need to be done, finding the market price and so on. So that will give you the 6.43 for the KD. Next, don't forget we have cost of preference. We have preference share in this question. Cost of preference, KPT over PO1 minus F. Now, we need to calculate for dividend now here. Working number 1. Formula is rate times with the par value. Now, let's go back to the question. If you look at the question, the rate is 5%, par value is 1. So we're going to find the dividend. 5% times with $1 will give you 5 pence. So that will be the dividend. Now, second working is going to be, now most of the times the market price is given on the previous questions that we did in the class, but here we get a problem. Market price is not given, but market value is given. So we're going to do some reverse calculation like how we did for the over here, like how we did for the ordinary shares market price, something like this. Yeah, the same formula. So I'm not going to repeat the formula again because it's going to be the same formula. It's just that we are finding for number of preference shares, okay, and we're finding the market price definitely. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to straight away put the formula in here. Market price, market value divided with number of preference shares is actually the same as how we find for number of ordinary shares, just that the name is different now, okay, but the same formula. So the market value, it's going to be like that. Market value for preference shares is going to be 6.25 million. And to find the preference shares, as you know, we need to let me do it here, never mind. Okay, so let's you have to take a book value divide with the par value. Okay, so we're going to do it together over here. Just now for the ordinary shares we did separately. I just want to show you how it works, but for the preference shares we're going to do it together. So this is going to be the book value for preference shares, 10 million. Divided with the par value of 1. So that will give you 0.625. That is the market price. Let's work out the answer over here. 5 pence over 0.625. That will give you 8%. So that's about the workings for the cost of preference. Okay, last but not least, let's work out the WACC now. Okay, so before we calculate the WACC, we need the market value, but over here we're not going to calculate market value because market value is given. So let's list down here the market values. It's easy for us. For equity, how much, which is our ordinary shares, and for convertible bond, and of course preference shares. Okay, so let's list down. So if let's go back to the note over here. Just copy and paste. Equity is 125 million. Convertible bond is 21 million and 6.25 million. So let's copy paste here. 125 million. Convertible bond is 21 million, and this is going to be 6.25 million. So that's the market value that we need. Okay, so the WACC formula is going to be now, but we got a problem here. In this question, we got three things here. We have ordinary shares, which is our equity, convertible bond, which is our debt, preference shares, also considered as to be debt. So we have three things here. We can't use the formula. Notice we can't use the formula. If it is only two, equity and the debt, we can use the formula. It's a bit easier. If you have more than two, it's easy for us to do the table method, like what I taught you one of the questions in the class, if you still remember, guys. So but you still have to write the formula for the WACC before we continue with the table method. KE times E plus D plus KD 1 minus tax times D E plus D. Now, but we're not going to use this formula. We're going to use table method. Capital market value and the cost. Definitely, the cost is the all the cost of equity, cost of capital, and so on. Cost of debt, cost of profit. So we have equity, convertible bond, and preference shares. 125 million, 21 million, 6.25 million. Okay, so we're gonna copy paste here the equity, whatever we calculated just now. You got 10%. Convertible bond, which is your KD, 6.43%. Then we have the cost preference 8%. Yes. Okay. So we're gonna times here. How much? So the first one will give you 12.5. Second will give you 1.35. Third one will give you 0.5. Total up the market value as well. So it will give you 14.35. 152.25. Okay, million, all this is million. Now WACC, we're going to take 14.35 million divided with 152.25 million times 100, that will give you 9.43%. So that will be our final answer for the WACC. That is our WACC, or in other words, that is our cost of capital. Weighted average cost of capital, so that's your cost of capital. And don't forget, we have the assumptions. So we need to write the assumption, which is if you still remember, I got to explain in the beginning of the question. We have to ignore the ordinary shares in the WACC calculation. So we have to write that. Now, let me. This is very simple explanation of here. It is assumed the overdraft can be ignored in the calculating of WACC. Yes, I already told you in the beginning of the question itself. We have to ignore overdraft because it's a short term. In other words, so whatever that we including in the WACC is going to be a long term source of finance. So that's basically the explanation over here. Even though the overdraft is the source of finance for the firm, and is also considered as a part of debt finance. Yes, but it is a short-term debt source of finance, so it's not a long-term source of finance. Remember, the BRAC is only include long-term source of finance. That's basically the long explanation, but you don't need to explain very long. Just make it short and sweet. So that will be the assumption over here. While we are ignoring the overdraft back calculation. Okay. Thank you guys so much. So please do this tutorial by your own, but this will be the answer for the WACC. The final answer is going to be just 9.43%. Thank you.